friends, welcome to FRTLZR. My name is Tim and today we're gonna talk about this beauty here. It's the Ibanez RG970 from 2016. It looks really stunning. Look at this flame. Also a nice tremolo system in it, H02 or Zero Edge 2. Also with a flaw, I will address it in this video. Look at this neck. It's a wangy neck and it feels so good. It's really nice to play on. A great system and it's an awesome guitar, I have to admit. But it has a huge flaw, which we're gonna address today. So stay tuned, subscribe, hit the notification bell and share this video to your friends and fellows. So let's get started. So here's the trem system, and you can see here that it has not only 2 springs but 4 springs, and it's a special setup. So the Zero Edge is different than usual Floyd Rose or other traditional ST style tremolos, because it has some counter tension springs here, and this has a function because you have here a small bar, and this bar is pressing against the tremolo block, or should press against the tremolo block. Use the tremolo in a way to a higher pitch. The tremolo block is moving away from this bar here, and when it's going back to zero position, it should slightly touch this bar. And when you go up, I cannot do it right now because the bar has to be installed, but it presses against this bar and it uses then the tension also of this Zero Edge tremolo. The thing about this is, of course, it's very stable. When you have it in this position, it's given a more stable zero position. But listen to this. And you hear it a lot when you strum a chord, for example, like this. So it's quite noisy, you hear the springs ringing a lot. You can address this issue with different type of material. And I want to show you some of these solutions which you can use. You can use a piece of cloth, like this one, and you wrap it around the springs, so that the springs don't make any buzzing or noisy sounds. Another thing which is quite common is to use shrinking tubing, and you just take out the springs and put the tubes around it, heat it up a bit. Don't make it too tight, otherwise the spring cannot work no more. And you can use it with different sizes of tubes. This, for example, for the smaller springs, and this for the bigger springs. This is a quite common approach also. And I also saw some people using kind of this tape for electrical isolating stuff. Works also, so you can decide and experiment a bit to your liking. I would probably go with this one here, wrap it around, and you're good to go. Yeah, to silence the springs in the tremolo cavity, I decided to use this kind of foam, which you usually find in when you buy some new pickups. They are always coming with some padding in it, which looks like this, a very soft one. And you can easily move this kind of foam underneath the springs. Also on this Zero Edge Tremolo fits perfectly. All the springs are now compressing this foam, and they will be silenced due to it. So it's very easy. Give it a try, and yeah, let me know which option was the best or is the best for you. This shrinking tubes or some kind of foam, or some people I read that they also use this kind of isolation tape. Let me know in the comments. This one is definitely working pretty well. Other than that, it's a great tremolo. Really cool to adjust. Also with this wheel here, you can adjust the spring tension without having a tool in your hands. And this is a very cool approach. I like this toolless thing a lot, and you can adjust it when you change your strings from, I don't know, 942s to 1052s or thicker ones. You can just use the wheel and then you're good to go. Yeah, so here's the tremolo section, and I'm now gonna block the tremolo with this rubber bar to change or to take out the strings, just to make sure that it stays in approximately this position. The strings are now a bit looser and I can change them quite easily. So now I've taken off the strings from the tuners, and I'm now gonna release them here in this tremolo section. They're only kept by this small blocks here inside. You need to be very attentive when you loosen here, and then you turn your guitar on the other side, or you flip it on the other side. They will fall off. So take care of that, don't lose them. They are very important for your tremolo. So easy access on this tremolo. And the good thing is also that you can use this Allen key also for adjusting action here in this two bolts. Very easy. Take off the tremolo bar. That's it. So now I'm gonna use this Fretrocker and I check the fretwork, if they're all level or if there's a high fret. I noticed already when playing the guitar that there is some buzzing, and I'll tell you also where this happens, but let me first check. Yeah, so when checking the fretboard, actually there were some smaller issues on the frets. Nothing very special. I had one here on fret number 8, but it didn't cause any buzz, even though the action is quite low. It was 1.5 and 1.3 or 1.25 on the high E string, but the last fret is high. And how are you gonna address this? How you find out? Because here is no rattling at all. And how you gonna check if this is too high? Or you can also check it with the Fretrocker. You just place it like this, because you know now everything here is level, and you slide it towards the fret, and then you see and you hear it, that there is a high fret, and it's quite significant, I would say. And we're gonna address this now with a Fretshaper. So this is the Fretshaper. If you're new to the channel, you might not know this little handy tool, but it's actually shaped like a Fretrocker. It looks very similar, but it's made for fret spot leveling. So in cases when you have a high fret on the fretboard, or maybe two, then you can address this issue with a Fretshaper, and you can get rid of some annoying fret buzz on some positions. So we found out that the 24th fret here is too high, and we're going to use the Fretshaper. The Fretshaper is actually having here some small notches, and in this notch this is a bit deeper than this edges. I hope you can see it quite good. Yeah, but you can see here the edge, and here's another edge, and in between it's enough space to position a piece of sanding paper, which is coming with a Fretshaper. We cut it exactly to the width of the Fretshaper, like so. Take a bit off. So, and then you put the paper into the notch of the Fretshaper. And the thing is, when you put the Fretrocker on it, it's exactly plane. So you can use the middle part where the sandpaper is to spot level frets, and you can do it on different positions on the fretboard. Here, this is usually used for the frets which are closer to the tuners or to the saddle, and normally you would use this part here for higher fret regions, like so, and you cut a piece of sanding fitting to this small notch. But in this case we need a wider area here, because we use this area to guide the Fretshaper like this. So the side where no sanding paper is will be guided with the other frets. And when you do this kind of work, you can also make sure that your pickup is protected from some dust coming from this kind of work. Just use some normal painter's tape, like so, and then you're good to go. Make sure that you have good pressure on the fretted part here and not too much here, because then it's flipping over and you maybe take more off than necessary. On the highest fret it's not so bad when it's a bit lower, but we want to go for a level fret. And if you feel that the friction is getting less, it's a sign that the paper might be wearing off, or that the fret is getting to the correct height. And you can see also that, so I flip it over a bit. like so. Let me have a check with the Fretrocker again. Yeah, it's still a bit. Here's good. It's also a bit high. And here is also a bit high. So, a bit to do. So now we're almost there. There's a bit high spot here. Really important to make the pressure here on the sides where the frets are. Of course, I also tried before to seat the level with a slight hammering, but it didn't work out. That's why we're doing this. Yeah, it's much better, it's almost gone. A bit more and then we're good to go. So, let me check. Really nice. Yeah, very good. Yeah, we get also a lot of questions regarding recrowning after such a task. And yeah, of course you can always recrown, but I think it's only necessary when the flat top of the fret is wider than approximately 1 millimeter. Then you will get some intonation issues. But also you might know that the intonation, especially when you have jumbo frets, depends also on the touch of your finger towards the string. So when you press harder on the string, you will have another intonation than if you press lighter. You have to consider also your playing style when doing so. In general, this fret looks very good, but nevertheless, I will use here the FRTLZR fret crowning file to do the job. Yeah, so now I use a FRTLZR fret polisher with 1500, and then I start here with the 24th fret, and let's see how FRTLZR is working on jumbo frets. So this was Numero uno, 1500, 2400. Of course, you can also use the fretboard protector if you want to. So 4000. Shines already like a mirror. Like a mirror. And 8000 in the end. Like so. Take care that you don't hit the guitar body. With 8000 it's not so severe, but if you have a 1500 it scratches the surface. So, ready. Yeah, so after showing you that the polishing kit is working also on this jumbo frets, typically for Ibanez, here on the 24th, I will now go with 1500 over all of the frets, then with 2400, then with 4000, and the latest, or the last one is 8000. And just use the weight of your hand, not pushing too much, just easy peasy, and you get the work done quite fast and with little to no effort. So now I go with 4000 over the frets. In the meantime I also use the fret end block to polish the fret ends until 8000. And now with 8000. Yeah, so the frets are now nicely polished, working quite well on this jumbo frets, and now it gets a bit of oil on the fretboard, polished until 8000 grit, and the fretboard gets now a bit of FRTLZR. Fretboard was not too dry, so one round of oil is sufficient in this case. Sometimes you have to put a bit more when the fretboard is really dry and maybe tends to break, and a bit of moisture is not too bad on a fretboard, especially when the moisture is coming from oil. So this looks beautiful. Okay, it's now the frets are polished and the fretboard is oiled with a nice fertilizer oil. And what I really like about this guitar is also the binding, this maple binding here. It looks so delicious. Okay, now we put some fertilizer strings on and then we are almost good to go. Yeah, while I was making the setup for this guitar, I noticed that the strings were not aligned with the radius of the fretboard. So actually the fretboard radius is 400 millimeters, which is like 15.75 inches radius. So I measured with a kind of 16-inch on the strings, but they were not aligning, and I was wondering, hey, what the hell is going on? And it turns out that here this little screws which are used to put the saddles in place, they have a small washer underneath. You can see it here. Here's a small washer, very tiny. Take care that you don't lose them, because when they drop on your floor, good luck. Yeah, and one of the washers were put underneath the saddle and not in between the head of the of the screw and the saddle. So the entire thing was misaligned. I've now checked each of the saddles here, and what they did very nicely, Ibanez, is that this bridge has some kind of steps here milled inside, or I think this can also be like an injection thing, aluminum injection or something like this. But it's very nicely done, so that each saddle, they have all the same height. Due to the stairs, they will perfectly align with the fretboard radius, and it's yeah, it's a really good construction. This is a little side note in case you're checking your strings if they follow the correct radius, because they should always, when you have a 16-inch radius, the string should also be aligned to have a 16-inch radius in order to have the best playability. Yeah, so here we are. So in this video I addressed this high fret, this special fret, the last one, which you usually cannot check in a normal way with a Fretrocker or with this Fretbanger, and how to level it with the Fretshaper. Some people said that it's not working properly on jumbo frets. Ibanez is the best example for having jumbo frets, so it works quite good. And I showed you how to silence the tremolo springs, because especially in this one, it doesn't have only 2 springs, it doesn't have 3, it has 4, because it has this zero edge system. The setup, it's quite straightforward on this one, and just restrung it and you're good to go. So if you like this video, share this to your friends and fellows, and hit the notification bell and subscribe. So see you next time. Bye.